Going on there? Hey, Mr. Suman. General cards for you, as usual. Knight of Discs, reversed. So this is where you came from. This kind of talks like maybe finishing school, moving school, something that's already happened. That card, it just wants to encourage you, saying that it might have been scary, it might be uncomfortable, this move, this change, but it, wherever you're going to from here will be better. Will be better off. Number 16, Tower. So this card is saying in the present you're identifying your own insecurities. The things you believed about yourself and what you're capable of that are not necessarily true. So I feel like that's talking about like studies specifically, like you're thinking you're capable of passing an exam when actually you're not, or yeah, it's just things you've been believing about yourself that are not true, and you're looking through yourself. You're like self-reflecting, finding those things and getting rid of them. Basing yourself and your identity and your decisions on things that you do know are true, that are fact about yourself, and that's a good thing. Future interval, 7 of discs. So this is like talking about opportunities opening up, like you deciding where you want to go to, what you're actually going to be doing with your life long term, setting yourself in motion towards that. This is like, what are you going to do for your career? How are you going to make money in the future? How are you going to secure your house yourself? You know, start a family. How are you going to provide for that your lifestyle? And it's about making those decisions. That's going to come up soon. You're going to have to like make decisions on where you're taking your chariot, where you're taking your life vehicle, and what your career is going to look like. And then this card just wants to say to you, whatever you choose, you should commit to it. It's okay to change direction, that's okay, but it sets you back. Every time that you change direction, say, oh, I made the wrong decision, I'm going to choose something different. Every time you do that, you get set backward. So it's just, it wants to say, choose wisely, and then stay on that. Stick with that choice. And that's your reading. Excuse me for a sec, guys. Just want to shut the door. Okay. Last night I had a dream that I was visiting someone. I don't know, I was on my way to some destination. I don't remember what that destination was or why I was going there, but along the way I was like staying at this house, and there were these people there, and I didn't know these people. I was meeting them for the first time and stayed with them for a little while, and then it was time for me to leave and continue on my journey. And they asked me how can they get hold of me, how can they contact me. So I was like, okay, well, let me write down your my email address for you and my like online username, my handle, so you can find me. And I couldn't remember it. Like, I couldn't remember my handle, my username. I couldn't remember. It was like I changed it so many times that I couldn't remember which one it was. And so I was like, okay, I can't remember my username, so I'm gonna give you my email address. And then no matter how many times I wrote the email address, I couldn't make enough space on the page to write down the full email address. I could write karin.j.97. I couldn't put the at or at gmail.com. I couldn't fit that on. No matter how many times I did it, or no matter how small I tried to draw it, I couldn't make it legible and make it fit on the same page. It was so strange. Mr. Subin, your last card was the 7 of discs, and it was saying that soon you're going to have to make decisions on what you're going to do with your life, what career you're going to choose. And it wants to just say to you, it's okay to change your decision. Like, if you make a decision, I'm going to be a professional football player, and then you decide, no, actually that's not right for me, I'm going to become a banker. It's okay to change your decision, but every time that you change your direction, you're going to set yourself backwards. So that card just wants to say to you, this choice is going to come up soon. You're going to have to make this choice about what you're doing with your life, and it says to you, choose wisely and then stay with the choice that you choose. You can change if you have to, but rather choose once and commit to that choice. It's a very warm and pleasant autumn day. It's usually quite chilly these days, but today is quite warm. Today is hot. I think I'm gonna read for myself since there's no one else here. Today there's been some weirdness, some chaos. So we boil water on a fire here because we want to save gas. Don't want to heat the water with gas all the time, and can't use power because it's too much. It's kettles and that, and not. It's just too much power. So we boil it on wood, and this morning the wood stove collapsed. It caved in. I was able to balance it all back together, put it back together and balance it so that we could still boil water. But yeah, chaos. And then I was setting up for the stream here, and I tried to update my titles, and the web page just kept refreshing itself in an endless loop. So I closed it and I went to the desktop inside, and I saw that I had been signed out of my account. So I tried to sign back in, and the keyboard wasn't working. Now, I didn't know that, so I kept putting in my password wrong, and I couldn't understand why the password wasn't right. But what was happening is the keyboard wasn't connecting with the computer, so it was like excluding certain numbers and letters. Again, just unnecessary chaos, and that locked me out of my account. And I had to I came back here and had to make a plan with this bloody machine that was refreshing endlessly. I had to figure out how to use it there. But Mr. Subin, I asked, remember the first time you asked me why can't you talk to my wife on her channel? And I said to you, you probably got blocked. So that same day I said to her, Mr. Subin wants to be unblocked. And she said, okay. And it's up to her if she's going to unblock you. I can't force her to do anything. I already told her you want to be unblocked, and that's all I can do, my friend. That's all I can do. So yeah, I just want to do like some divination and understand why this day started out with so much chaos. What happened there? What was going on there? You know? Oh yes, and I was also dressing and I touched something and it's like I've got a piece of something invisible, something so tiny is now stuck in my finger, and every time I bump it against something at the wrong angle it stings like I'm being pricked with a needle. It's a very strange day, lots of strangeness. Seven of Wands, what does that say? Seven of Wands in reverse. It's like saying I'm uncertain of my own intentions. I was certain of my intentions when I began, and right now I'm not. Like I don't resonate with the same intention that I started out with. What does that have to do with though? Does that have to do with the stream? Does that have to do with my relationship? What's that talking about? What's that talking about? That doesn't really make much sense. Okay, I'm gonna have to look at the crossing card. Hey, Miss Cutie Rose. I'm doing well, thank you. It's been a strange day so far, but I'm doing okay. Okay, so crossing card is again another 7, and it's the Chariot. I'm reading for myself, by the way, because today has been so weird. Like, the first thing that happened this morning is that the wood stove collapsed and caved in, and we cook and we boil water on it. So yeah, we do that to save gas, so we don't have to cook every meal on gas. We don't have to boil water on gas all the time. We use gas instead of power because, well, you know, power is a pain in the ass. Hey, Queen of Discs. As I was saying, yeah, some weird chaos set in, so I fixed that. I balanced it all back together and we boiled the water on it. Then I was setting up for stream and I was dressing and I touched something. I got something stuck in my finger, so every time I like pick up a card or touch something it stings like I'm being pricked with a needle. And then when I was updating my titles and whatever descriptions, the web page was refreshing endlessly, so I closed it and I went to use a different machine, and I hadn't been logged out on that machine, so I tried putting my password and username in and stuff, and the keyboard wasn't communicating with the desktop, so it was leaving out letters and numbers, and I didn't know that, so I got locked out of my account. Fucking weird. Really fucking weird. So I just want to understand what's going on with that. Do I have tweezers? Yes, I do, but this thing is invisible. I cannot see anything in my finger. I cannot see it there. It just hurts when I touch it. Okay, so the first thing I saw is a 7 of discs, 7 of wands in reverse, and number 7 of the trumps as a crossing card. So the 7 of wands is saying that I don't have the same intentions that I started out with, or the intentions that I set originally. I don't know what it's talking about, what intentions, because there's intentions regarding different things, like the stream, like relationships, like family, etc. There's a lot of different things that have intentions, and it's just, I don't know what one it's talking about there. Crossing with the Chariot card. Again, it's about decisions. It's about decisions and decisions and decisions. So for that Chariot card is like, it's saying that I'm sitting in a place where I'm contemplating, I'm like viewing all the possibilities in front of me, trying to decide which one is best for me, and which one I want to work towards, you know, what's going to be best in the long run. Sending good vibes, says Miss Cutie Rose. Queen of Pentacles says, can't you ask if some kind of negative energy is around you? So there's always negative energy around me. There's negative energy coming from every direction all the time. It doesn't affect my life unless, you know, I subscribe to it. So here's an example. I go to Neisner, I go to town to do shopping, the nearest city. It's not a city, it's a town. So I go there to do shopping, right? And I'm driving and people are doing dangerous things on the road. So I can just trust in my ideal self, and I can trust in my reflexes, and I can just, you know, stay centered and grounded and have a good day. Everything goes well. Or I can sit there and I can start getting angry at these people doing reckless things on the road. And the minute that I do that, the frequency shifts and the whole day is shit. The whole day is fucked from there on outwards. I will end up spending more at the shop than I intended to. Like, I'll calculate everything, but when I get to the till, it's more. I'm over budget. Yeah, everything just goes to absolute shit the very moment that I allow the actions of others to affect me negatively. Until then, it doesn't matter. You can be directing as much negative energy at me as you like. As long as I don't subscribe to it, and I don't start getting angry or upset, I stay safe. So, the stove collapsed this morning. I felt frustration, but I handled it with grace and subtlety. When I got locked out of my account, though, in that moment I was a little bit So this reading is to understand where I've allowed this in. You know, what is the vulnerability that has allowed this in? And it's talking to me about uncertainty regarding my intentions so far. So I'll add you to the queue, Doreen, welcome. And yeah, I'm busy reading for myself now, so I'll put you in the queue. When I'm done, I'll read for you if you're still here. So the Chariot card is saying that I'm busy sitting and contemplating outcomes, possibilities, deciding which one is going to be best for me and what actions to take in order to ensure that outcome. And because of that, you know, the original intentions that I set, I don't know what is talking about there, but my original intentions are not compatible with these new outcomes that I'm choosing. Conscious mind is focusing on changes, Two of Discs in reverse. So it's saying that there have been opportunities in front of me, or there are opportunities in front of me, and I'm trying to reach for them and commit to them, but I'm not dedicating the time and energy that they require. What's that talking about? What is this one talking about? Like, I understand what these cards are saying, but what in my life is it talking about? Yes, of course, you may be added to the queue. Queen of Pentacles, Queen of Discs. And Two of Discs in reverse, it's like... Okay, that's talking about the solar system. So yesterday I got the final piece that I needed, the battery. I got the deep cycle battery. Am I neglecting myself or others? Exactly. So it's firstly talking about the solar rig. It's like, I've got everything now. I could have been prepared, like I could have had the whole system set up and waiting just for the battery, and then I connect it and bingo, everything is sorted. And I haven't. So I've planted seeds, but I haven't committed to it. It's kind of talking about neglecting people in my life, and I feel that, like I'm neglecting my relationship with my daughter. It's been a whole month. Not a whole month. It's been like almost 3 weeks since I spoke to her last. So yeah, it's like, it's pointing that out for me. Jenna, welcome. You got a message that shattered you. Healing, that shattered your healing 100%. hope you're doing well. Thank you for joining us, Jen. We'll see what we can do for you. You will be third in the queue. Unconscious mind is a 6 of swords in reverse. Okay. So this card is talking about my relationship with my partner, I feel strongly. And it's saying that, like, she's making leaps and bounds with her goals and the thing, like she's basically studying and learning new things. And that it's intimidating and it's not something I'm conscious of. Like, looking at her doing so well, it makes me feel inadequate, like I'm not doing so well, or I'm not moving with as much precision or as much determination as I should be. Like, her success is making me feel inadequate because, like, I'm not dedicating myself as much as she is. And it's not something I'm conscious of, but it is affecting me and my decisions and my actions and my behavior unconsciously. Miss Cutie says, why don't you talk to her? So I love talking to her, and I should talk to her more, and the procrastination comes in due to the dynamics between myself and her mother. Like, I have to interact with her mother in order to speak to her, and her mother is constantly on my case about money. It doesn't matter how much I give her, you know, it doesn't matter how much money she gets from me. Every time that she's speaking to me, it's about how I'm not good enough, and I'm not doing enough, and I'm not giving enough. And it's absolute bullshit. Like, I'm giving enough, and I'm doing the best that I can. In fact, she ends up with more. Like, this household lives on absolute bare minimum because I give more than 50% of everything I have for Athena's sake. And where does that money actually go? It doesn't even go to Athena. It goes to pay for luxuries that the ex doesn't even need, that she considers essential, things that I'm sacrificing so that her mother can have, you know? So that's where the resistance comes in. That's where I procrastinate, and I know that it shouldn't be. Like, I've made decisions. Like, if I see my ex is calling me, I will answer. Now, I know she's gonna shit all over me, and it's gonna feel cuck. I'm gonna feel cuck. My heart's gonna race. So I don't actually want to answer it, and I don't feel like I should, but I will, and I won't even engage with her. I'll just say, hey, is Athena there? Does she want to talk to me? And if the answer is yes, then I talk to Athena. If the answer is no, I just say, okay, bye, and I put the phone down. I don't engage with the ex whatsoever. If I see a voice note from her, I open it. If I don't hear my daughter's voice, I close it immediately, delete it, close the chat. How old is my daughter? She is turning 5 in December. Okay, so past interval here is number 11. It's the last card. This is like, I have been full circle, it's saying. It's saying that recently I've come full circle in all of my efforts and everything that I've been working on and trying out, things I wanted to learn about, projects I've started. It all came full circle. Harvest was reaped. Time to plant again, start a new project, start a new journey. This time with all of the knowledge and experience and resources that were gained through the first cycle. This is an encouraging card. And so this is why I have all these 7s in the present, the Chariot and the 7 of Wands in reverse, because the previous cycle is complete. So I need to set new intentions. Like, what I originally started out with isn't going to work for me in the new cycle. And there are new possibilities and new decisions to be made because, well, the old period is complete. Like I was saying, I've got the solar rig, I've got everything I need for that. You know, we're at the next. It's evolution 1 is complete. My art skills have evolved. My music skills have evolved. Everything has come full circle. It's time to sow new seeds. future interval is the Five of Wands. Okay. So this is saying that as soon as I have figured out what this new period is going to be, like what new skills I'm going to start developing, what new intentions I'm going to set, what new outcomes I'm working towards, as soon as I've chosen that, the next couple of weeks, next couple of months, next couple of years is going to look like a Five of Wands. It's going to look like me applying everything I know and everything I have to the best of my ability, moving towards that, putting one foot in front of the other, just like I did 2 years ago when I started setting things in motion. Yeah. Uphill, uphill, uphill. That's my reading. Okay. So it's interesting that the cards specifically brought up my relationship with my daughter and my relationship with my partner. Because last night my partner said something to me that was identical to something that my daughter had said to me in the past, and it really hit a nerve. It hit a strong nerve. A lot of heartache came up. So Doreen, if you're here, I'll read for you now. Otherwise, it's Queen of Discs. So I'm sure that Queen of Discs is here. I'm not so sure that Doreen is still here. Thank you for all of the positive vibes and all the love and good vibes, yeah, good energy that you're sending. Emotional support team. Okay, so did you have a question, Queen of Discs? So I don't need to. I smell garlic and butter. So I don't need to have your question before I lay the cards out. But there we go, we've got your question. The cards will know what your question is before you ask it, basically. You'll see now. I lay the spread before you asked your question. It's going to answer your question. So my relationship has been getting bad lately, to the point where he isn't really communicating with me anymore. Can I get insight onto what causes this, and maybe even advice on how to move forward? Yes, Aziza is making something. Definitely making something. I would say that it's like garlic bread that she's making, but there isn't any bread, and it doesn't smell like bread is baking. So I can't really guess what it is. Oh hey Doreen, you are still here. Okay, I'll read for you after Queen of Discs. Please stick around, and please let me know. You know, when I ask if you're still here, please let me know. Seven of Swords reversed, Queen of Discs. It is reversed. So this card, it's kind of like when you set your sights on a destination, you know, and like I was talking about, if I don't subscribe to the negative energy that's coming in from the outside, it can't affect me. If I handle it with grace and precision and subtlety, it doesn't affect me. So that's kind of what this card talks about when it's the right way around. It's like you set your sights on a goal, and it doesn't matter if people try to sabotage you or try to make you doubt yourself. If you keep your eyes fixed and you keep moving with precision and with grace, and no matter what you're feeling, you don't react to it, then any efforts to sabotage you are futile. This card in reverse, though, it's kind of saying that you are allowing all of these external things to put doubt on you. Like people are saying things to you that make you doubt your relationship, make you doubt yourself, make you doubt your reason for being in the relationship, make you feel like the dreams that you have, you will never see them if you stay in this relationship. So it's like this card is kind of saying that there are a lot of external factors, and it's not you alone, it's happening for him as well. There are all of these external thoughts, energies and currents that are coming in, and you guys are subscribing to it. You're allowing it to create disharmony in the relationship, and this is not something you've been doing consciously. You know, if I swear at the driver when I'm on the road because he's doing something reckless, I don't realize how I'm giving him and his negative energy authority over the rest of my day. I don't realize that in the moment. It's only in hindsight when I look at it, or when I compare. You know, I compare times where I stayed centered and grounded, and I compare times when I got angry and frustrated. And then I can see how, you know, I gave authority to that energy, to that negativity. But otherwise, I don't really realize how big of a deal it is, you know? And that's something that is coming to a close, though. It's something that's behind you. It's just coming up here. It's showing itself. This card is showing itself so that you can learn from it. So you can look back and see where it happened. You know, so that you can do the comparisons between the times when you were graceful and constructive versus the times where you were reactive and, you know, self-pitying, where you fell into the doubt. Present interval is number 7, the Chariot. So this card is saying, it's talking about committing to decisions that you've made, committing to each other, committing to your, I don't know if you're studying something or if he's studying something, but committing to it. If you're working a certain job, or if you have like businesses that you've started up recently, it's like this card is committing to it, not changing direction. It's staying on the path that you've already chosen. Within your relationships, within your individual lives. So you're talking about a lack of communication. This card wants to like say, despite the fact that he's not communicating, or despite the fact that you're not communicating, everything is still on the same course it has been. Like the destination that was chosen when you went into this relationship is still in sight for him, and is still in sight for you. Even if there's like a bit of distance right now, it's the end game hasn't changed. He hasn't chosen to leave you. He hasn't chosen. Yeah, the end goal hasn't changed basically, and it's interesting. You know, it's more sevens, lots of sevens coming up. Despite the external influences that make you doubt your outcome and doubt the relationship and doubt your own personal goals, none of it has changed. You haven't allowed it to actually, you know, break. You haven't allowed it to break anything that you've set in motion. 9 of Wands is the future card. Welcome, Dapika Graham. Dappy Cogram, such an interesting name, and welcome. Yeah, haven't seen you here before, so welcome. 9 of Wands in the future for you. Queen of Discs. It's also reversed. 9 of Wands. So this is saying that you're about to see all of your intentions come full circle. Everything that you set in motion, whether positive or negative, is about to come back. So if you went into this relationship with any negative intentions, any self-serving intentions, that's going to come full circle. You're going to see him demonstrate those same self-serving intentions towards you. But any selfless and constructive intentions that you had going into the relationship, you're going to see him demonstrate those towards you as well. So it's not a bad thing, it's just like a heads up saying you are going to see everything that you've put into the relationship come back. Like that's what's in the next couple weeks for you, in the next couple months, is you reaping the rewards of both your positive intentions and your negative intentions. And you need to like learn from it. Don't blame him, don't blame the environment, don't downplay. Like if you see positive intentions from him, don't neglect to make the connection. Don't neglect to make the connection between his positive intentions and yours. Like if he does something negative, it's going to be a reflection of you. If he does something positive, it's a reflection of you, and this card wants you to recognize it. Don't downplay it, don't dismiss it. Yeah. If you take responsibility for it and you recognize it and you make the connection, you learn. If you dismiss it or downplay it, you don't learn from it, and then you end up sowing the same intentions. You know, the same seeds get sown again in an endless cycle, and that doesn't get you anywhere. That's not progress. So all in all, the basic message of this card is that despite the distance, nothing has really changed in the relationship. Yeah, it's a difficult one to put into words, but it's like you guys made decisions about what you are creating together, and that has not been jeopardized or sabotaged. As bad as things might appear, that initial decision has not changed. And there are no ones here. The 9 comes right before 10, so yeah. If you can take responsibility, and if you can make the connection, and you can avoid downplaying, avoid dismissing the things that you see, if you can acknowledge that what you see is something you've set, something you put there, that allows the cycle to come to completion, and yes, then you will see communications open again. So Doreen, it's your turn next, and then it's Miss Cutie Rose. Doreen. So I noticed, Doreen, that you have a bigger ping than everyone else. Verbally is very important, because we're talking about you want to re-establish communications. So yes, acknowledging up here is the first step, and then verbally communicate it. That opens the gateway for like re-establishing connection, healing the communication, the state of your communications. Yeah, opening your own mouth. You can't wait for him to open his mouth. You can, he might, but self-work and growth, like you say, the definition of that is when you're not waiting for someone else to do the work, when you do it yourself, where you lead the way. What's a ping? A ping is the number of milliseconds it takes between the time that I open my mouth and speak and the time that you hear it on your end, coming out of your speakers. that is the ping. The ping is the amount of time that it takes for your message, you know, the time between when you press enter and the time when you see it appear on the screen, that is a ping. So it seems that Doreen has a bigger ping than everybody else. That would just be due to a slower internet connection. So Doreen, it takes longer for Doreen to hear me say, "You're next," and it takes longer for me to receive the message of Doreen saying, "I'm still here." So I have to give her at least a minute. A lower ping means faster, yes. That's less milliseconds, less time. Higher ping means more time, more milliseconds. But it has been a minute now, and I still haven't heard back from Doreen. It's very unlikely that Doreen would have a ping longer than a minute, longer than 60 seconds. 60,000 milliseconds. Okay, actually it would be Jenna next, and then Miss Cutie Rose. Or am I right? Am I wrong? No, it's Miss Cutie Rose next. Okay. So Miss Cutie Rose, if you're here, I'd read for you. Dappy Cogran, I will add you to the queue. Thank you for joining the queue. I have to bounce off at 2 o'clock, which is in 54 minutes from now. Fantastic, Miss Cutie Rose is here. Cool. I'm checking the chat to see if you left me a question. How will things be if you get into a relationship with Arun? Okay, I'll read for that. Read for that question for you. So 3 cards, it's 4 cards. I'm gonna have to hire like a welder, someone who knows how to do welding. I have to hire a welder to come and make a temporary solution to my broken wood burning stove. Connecting to Miss Cutie Rose. Oh, I guess that means connection established, with the 6 of Wands in the present. So that 6 of Wands is saying that this relationship is, it's like, it's, a 6 is like overcoming your own limits. So like you will learn from him and he will learn from you. This is about the things that you're passionate about, trying to live, doing the things that you're passionate about. You have been trying, you have been doing the best that you can. There are still limitations on what you know and like resources you have at your disposal, like, you know, money, technology, like computers or cell phones or internet, whatever you need in order to live in what you're passionate about, instruments, whatever it is. You're doing the best that you can despite your limits, and he's doing the best that he can despite his limits. And this relationship will allow you both to overcome those limits. Like, he has knowledge that you don't have, and he has finances that he can use to help you out, and you have finances you can use to help him out. Maybe not. Maybe it's talking about technology. It's just talking about overcoming your limitations by working together. Like, this relationship opens up the possibility for both of you to do better and to get closer to the things you're passionate about and to get closer to your desired outcomes. Thank you for letting me know you're still here, Jen. You'll be up next after Miss Cutie Rose. Then the past interval card here is the Moon card, number 18. So this is about shattering illusions and realization. That's realization as in realizing you have what it takes to accomplish the things you want to accomplish. So it's realization of having what you need, and it's also realization, putting that into practice, making it realize into your life, into your present. So the illusions that are being shattered are those thoughts that tell you you're not capable. It's those thoughts that say this is a bad idea, or this is you repeating old cycles. It's all of those thoughts. Those are illusions, delusions. If this card is reversed, I would say that you're buying into the delusion and the illusion. And the thoughts are telling you this is a good idea when it's not. But the right way around is saying that it's the negative thoughts, it's the negative feelings, it's the fears, it's the resistances that are the illusion, and those have recently been shattered. You've chosen, you're like, hey, that is illusion, that is delusion. I don't need to listen to any of those thoughts. So like last night when Aziza Azura she was saying things that were the exact verbatim words that my daughter has used in the past, and it struck a nerve, and it made, I got this voice in my head that was telling me I'm replacing my daughter, and that's absurd. It's illusion, it's delusion, it's thoughts of illusion. But in the moment it sounded real, and I subscribed to it, and I let it hurt me. So this card is saying that those thoughts, those doubts, those fears are illusion. They can be shattered. You can let go of them. You actually have what it takes. You have what it takes to accomplish what you desire from life. This relationship has the potential to bring emotional security and emotional, what's the word I'm looking for? Abundance, emotional abundance to the both of you, you and Arun. And then the Six of Wands in the present is saying that this relationship is a good idea. It's a powerful thing. It's going to be an evolution for you both. Seven of Wands is on the horizon for you. It's reversed. And it kind of talks about having to adjust. It's like you have a certain way of doing things. Like, you go to work, you get home, you wake up, you boil the kettle, you eat breakfast, you go to work. You have like a routine and a way of doing things, and that brings you step by step closer to your intentions and the things you're trying to manifest for yourself in your life. And getting into this relationship, it's going to be an adjustment period where you're going to have to be flexible with your routine, and some changes are going to have to take place. It's going to set you back a little bit. It's going to be going 2 steps forward and then 1 step back. You're going to be set back a little bit by this relationship, and there's going to be an adjustment period before you get back into the swing of things. So that's just like a heads up on the horizon, saying yes, this relationship in the long term is going to help you get close to your manifestations, but when you initially get into the relationship, it's going to feel like a bit of a backtrack. It's going to set you back a little bit, but when you get the ball rolling again, you're going to be moving faster than you were before. And that is your reading. Queen of Pentacles says, I'm sorry your ex sucks. She doesn't really suck, She's a human being doing the best that she can with what she knows and with what she has. And, it's stress and it's fear that she's dealing with. Huge amounts of stress and fear, and not really being able to understand what she what part she has to play in the perpetuation of her own stresses. And then she's got pressure coming from bosses, you know, from employers. She got stressors coming from landlords. She got stressors coming from school, and she got stressors coming from her own partner and her sister. And then she projects and she like puts that stress on me. She like kind of makes me responsible for all of those stresses. And self-pity. And you know, when you are in the place of self-pity, you cannot see that you are self-pitying. You don't realize that self-pity is what cages you. The infection starts out as fear, and then it turns into doubt, and then it turns into like this egoistic pride, and then it turns into resentment towards those around you, and you start blaming things that aren't actually to blame for your fears, and that turns into lies. You start lying to yourself, you start lying to the people around you, deceitfulness, because you're afraid to not have enough. So you tell this person, you go to this person, say I need money, and then they give you money, and you go to this person, you say I've got nothing, I need money, and they give you money, and you're raking in all of this money from every direction, but you're not telling all of the other people. You're making them, it's deceitful. You're like leaving this image of poverty because you're so afraid to be without, and that turns into delusion. You start deluding yourself that you don't have enough, you never have enough, and that turns into self-pity. Oh, woe is me, why is life so shit, why am I always so poor? And you can't actually see this process happening when it's happening to you. What I feel most strongly towards people and my ex who live in that place of self-pity and who live in that fear is compassion. And I wish I could, I wish I could shatter that illusion of self-pity. I wish I could take that fear, that infectious demon of fear out. I wish I could like surgically remove that infection and pour salt into the wound so that it actually starts to fucking heal. Yes, absence mentality. Next in line is Jenna. Maybe you say something about it and leave it. No, I don't say anything anymore. So that's what wisdom and discernment said to me. It's like, you don't have to say anything. First of all, I had anger, and I understood that anger was telling me that boundaries are being crossed, boundaries of mine. Like, you can't, it's not okay to phone someone and shit on them and make them feel cuck because you're feeling cuck. Like, yes, that person can understand why you're feeling that way, they can have compassion, but it doesn't make it okay. Hello, Jackie. This is my dog. Thank you for joining me and visiting me. Please mind all the wires. Thank you. It's not okay to do that to someone. And I was trying to express that. I was trying to say it's not okay for you to do this. And that just makes her resentful, and then she starts threatening lawsuits and cases, and like, that's gonna go badly for her, not for me. If there's lawsuits, it's gonna go badly for her, unfortunately. Yeah, it's just gonna go badly for her. She's gonna end up spending more money on lawyers, and I'm not gonna have to spend a thing. But anyway, the frustration and the resentment, it affects me negatively as much as it's affecting her. So my wisdom said to me, you don't have to say anything, you don't have to convince her. The reason I keep answering the phone is like out of this hope that I'm going to answer the phone and it's going to be Athena's voice. So yeah, wisdom says to me, you can answer the phone, but don't engage with Lucille's energy frequency whatsoever. Like, answer the phone and be like, hello, is Athena there? Oh, Athena's not there? Okay, well, thanks for calling, goodbye. Don't engage with anything, don't answer any questions. Just, because I am still integrous. I still send money whenever I can, as much as I can. I help her pay for school fees, I help her buy clothes, and that's why things won't go well for her if she does court cases, because because I'm already doing everything that I can, and I'm not the only one, you know. The apartment that she's staying in, that she's renting, belongs to my family. It belongs to our family trust, and she's paying a lot less, you know. It's way below the market value that she is paying for that rent. And the school that Athena goes to also, it is a business that is run by my mother's sister, and she's paying a lot less. So everyone is working to make this happen, you know. Everyone is working to make her part of the family, to make sure that she always has enough, and yet it's never enough for her. No matter how much I give, no matter how much the rest of my family is giving, it's never enough for her. And that's why it would go badly for her if she had to take us to court, had to take me to court. Yeah, she's definitely scared. So Jenna, if you're here, I'm ready to read for you now. I think you did confirm. Let me have a look. No, no confirmation. Yeah, she's fully within that self-pity victim mentality, so that it doesn't matter how much you're actually helping her, she still feels like she's being used and taken advantage of. Okay. High Priestess Sana, I will add you to the queue. Thank you for joining us today. I have to bounce at 2 o'clock. Let me see what time it is. Which is in like 40 minutes, 39 minutes. So there are a couple of people in the queue already. Jenna is up next. And then there was a Dapicogram. After Dapicogram. Yeah, you'd be after Dapicogram. High Priestess Hannah. Okay, so Jen, I understand that, I feel like I understand what you're saying. Like your faith in your own healing and the healing of your daughter has been, you know, it's been attacked by someone. Someone has been trying to poke holes in your paradigm and your belief. And as we know, belief is the most important part of magic. Convincing yourself, convincing your mind, the sleight of mind, that's literally what magic is. You know, all the ceremony, all the technique, it's all there to convince your mind that it's going to work. And if you can't convince your mind, it doesn't work. Queen of Pentacles says, what's the next time you'll be on? Sometime tomorrow, I'm sure. So I'm going to just let the cards speak, let the spirits speak. I do really need the toilets. Queen of Discs says, I need to get something to eat. I love this chat, thank you. I enjoy it as well. So I need to use the toilet. I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back. Queen of Swords. Queen of Swords is your first card, and this card it's in the position of the past, so it's kind of saying to you, look at the past. Because among your experiences you will see places where you actually put your beliefs into practice and saw results. Like the Queen here, it's about the realm of thought. It's like where you're concocting a new plan or a new idea or a new paradigm in your mind. And the card in reverse would mean that you stay in that place, you stay in that place of contemplation and thought, and it never becomes reality. But the card the right way around means you actually take steps, you communicate, you speak, you take action in the physical, real world to bring those beliefs and plans and thoughts and ideas into reality and see their results manifest. So this card is saying to you, have a look, just take a moment of self-reflection, because other people might gaslight you, tell you you're crazy, but within your own experiences you have core memories where you actually took those thoughts and beliefs, belief in healing, belief in magic, things like that, and you applied it and you saw results. And that is where you should direct your mind and your focus right now. Go back to those core memories of success and truth. Here in the present we've got a Princess of Discs in reverse. So the Princess of Swords is about ideas and thoughts and plans. Discs is about the physical world, material reality, health, finances. What is this one saying? It's kind of saying that your methods in the present are not fully utilizing your experience from the past or your knowledge from the past. Like you have, particularly regarding healing, you're in the present you're relying on doctors, and man medicine, and you have experience from the past that's not being applied in the present. You're following the advice and guidance of people around you, and that's all well and good, but where's the application of your own experiences? That needs to be applied as well. Here in the past you have experiences where you took ideas and you made them reality and you saw results. Now that is missing from the present. You are not applying your knowledge, your power. Your magic is not in the situation in the present, and it should be. What more is this card saying? This card is also saying other people around you have expectations on how healing is supposed to take place. What the process of healing looks like, and those expectations are detrimental to the healing process. You can't have any expectations. You've got to let the healing take place according to its natural process. So you understand that, and you are prepared. You don't have an expectation of outcome, but because the other people around you are waiting for proof, or whatever that is, they're waiting for proof, and they need it to happen in a certain way before they will classify it as proof. That puts stress on you, that puts disbelief on you, that puts doubt on you, because now you need the healing to look the way they're expecting before they will believe you. And this card wants to say to you, you don't need that. You don't need their validation. You don't need validation from family. You don't need validation from anybody. Your ideal self and your validation is what's important and what's necessary. So these two cards together is saying so far that the only reason other people are able to shatter your belief and your paradigm, and able to weigh you down, is because you look to them for approval, and that is not in the interest of healing. That is not in the interest of growth and manifestation of magical ability and miraculous healing. You need to be able to. You need to trust spirit. You need to seek validation within spirit, not within man, not within human beings. Your spirit's validation is all you need, and that's something you need to. That is what you should be looking at. That's how you can turn around and step back into your belief and your paradigm. I haven't turned over the last card yet. The Queen of Swords is also saying, to help you, you can go back into your own experiences of the past. Instead of listening to their logic and their reasoning, look at your personal experience. Because we can talk about logic and reasoning and theory until we go blue in the face. The practical experience of truth is what's necessary. That's a fundamental Buddhist practice, a fundamental Buddhist teaching, is that you don't believe something or listen to something because a teacher has said it, or because a parent has said it, or because a partner has said it, or because a guru has said it, or because Buddha said it, or because Jesus said it. You believe it because you've had practical experience of it in real time, within the framework of your inner world. Your last card is the Prince of Discs reversed. So this card is saying to you that just enduring, knuckling down and expecting healing to take place just by enduring is not enough. It's not enough. Wisdom says your endurance has to be met in equal measure with creativity. That's a little bit vague. A practical example would be, okay, you have a herbal medicine, like let's say you are an accomplished and experienced alchemist, and you have a herbal medicine that you give to your daughter, and you believe it will work, and you give it to her regularly, and you're just waiting, you're enduring, waiting for it to work. That can happen, that can be successful. But this card is saying it will not be, not just waiting. You will have to make creative solutions, like you see, okay, you have these symptoms, I need to adjust the potion, I need to adjust the concoction, I need to adjust the ingredients. The active ingredients need to be adjusted to deal with that symptom, as well as the baseline healing that I'm trying to provide, if that makes sense. The point of the example is to say, okay, just waiting, doing the same thing, just waiting for things to get better isn't enough. You have to adapt and make creative solutions to each new obstacle that shows up. And yeah, creativity must meet endurance in equal measure. So that doesn't necessarily just talk about herbal medicine and magical solutions. It also talks about medicinal, scientific medicine and doctors and other forms of holistic medicine. I don't know exactly what she's suffering with, but there are other forms of holistic healing, like acupuncture and homeotherapy and reflexology and Reiki healers, and yeah, there's alchemy, but there's also a lot of other holistic medicines. The negative message came from spirit. Interesting. So spirit means purpose. The purpose of mankind is to love and be loved. So spirit is within love, it's a spirit of love. There's no room for fear in the face of love. The Spirit wants to heal, wants to provide healing. It's just waiting for permission to give healing. You know, for me, it might be as simple as saying a word. That gives the Spirit permission to heal. For someone else, it might be taking a drop of essential oils. For someone else, it might be going to a healer. You know, it might be physical contact. For each person, giving permission to Spirit to heal them will look different. Like, I have given people healing through like Reiki healing sessions. That's what they needed. That's how they gave permission to Spirit in order to be healed. And then there are other people who need me to pray to a specific God before they can have permission from Spirit to heal them. So if that voice, that message came from a place of fear, or from a place of doubt, or from a place of arrogance, or from a place of resentment, it's not Spirit. It's not Spirit. You've tried so many avenues and you're exhausted. Okay. You believed in miracles. So that sentence is in past tense. If you stop believing in miracles, you will not see miracles. I acknowledge that it might be possible. That's all that's necessary. I acknowledge that it might be possible. You know, that's both the positive and the negative. I acknowledge that my daughter might not get through this. I acknowledge that. I hope and I acknowledge that miracles are possible. That she might get through this. So now I don't want to say you have tried this or you haven't tried that, but maybe you need to step back. You know, maybe you need to stop trying to come up with your own solution and ask the universe to show you a solution. You know, step back and say, okay, I'm putting my daughter in your hands, God. Putting my daughter in your hands, O Spirit. No longer in my hands. No longer within my power. Within what I believe is possible. But within your hands, O infinite universe. Thank you so much for the tip, Doreen. And welcome back. And you know, maybe just ask the Spirit, say, okay, I've tried everything that I know. Show me, you know, show me where to step now. Every time that I step, it seems the ground remains unstable. So you show me where I can step that will be safe. And then trusting that, you know, when you see that synchronicity, trusting it and stepping out, following Spirit, you know, like with the moon card, stepping out, even in the darkness, stepping out, even onto the sea. Even if your logic, your reasoning, your emotions can't make sense of the synchronicity of this direction that Spirit is showing you, to step into it anyway. I'm gonna draw some cards for Doreen. There's some cards for Doreen. Seven of Discs in reverse. No problem, Doreen, and thank you so much. Here is, I've laid these three cards out for you. I've got the Seven of Discs first, and seven is about decisions, directions, making new decisions. Interesting that you're talking about work, because Discs is about work. So this is like, this card is talking about making bad decisions. Now it's in the past, it's something that's already happened, not something that's still going to happen. It's just saying you have recently made some decisions, you know, regarding work and regarding your home life that are not necessarily, that weren't necessarily a good idea. Like the way things were, the way you were doing things was good enough. And if you were just stuck with that, you should have just stuck with that. But instead you were like, this is not good enough. I need another solution. And so you tried to change things, and that ended up putting you backwards rather than taking you forward. So it's in the past, and it's just showing up, you know, to point that out for you, to say that this has happened. Don't make that kind of mistake in the future. You know, if you're swimming across a lake, swimming across a dam, and you get halfway and then turn around and like, no, it's too far, I'm going to go back. You're still swimming the full distance, but you don't get to the other side of the lake. So that's kind of what it's saying. It's kind of what happened. It's like you were working towards a certain outcome within your current job. You had a job, or you had a business and you were working in it. You were swimming across the lake, and then you felt like, this is not working, I'm going to choose something else. And so you ended up swimming the full distance, all of the effort went in, but you didn't get the outcome that you were actually, that was there for you. In the present is number 8. Number 8 is about adjustment. So this is, in the present you are letting go of habits, bad habits that are not serving you, that are not serving you in your work, that are not serving you in your family and your relationships and your home life. There are certain habits, I don't know what those habits are. Maybe it's an addiction, maybe it is, I don't know what it is, binge watching a series. No, it's not. It's a lot of different habits, a lot of different bad habits, overspending, distracting yourself by watching TV, addiction, whether that be like chocolate or sugar, or if that be cigarettes and alcohol. It's an addiction. There's a lot of bad habits, and you are letting go of them. You're like, hey, these bad habits are not helping me. They are destroying my family. They are getting in the way of my work life, and so I need to let go of them. They're not compatible with the dreams that I'm creating for myself and those I love, so I need to let go of them. And that's what is going on for you. And also picking up new habits, like, hey, I want to start drawing, or hey, I want to start painting, or hey, I want to start singing or playing a musical instrument, or, you know, picking up new hobbies, things that are actually healthy and constructive, new habits that are healthy, that do help your work life and that build your relationship instead of destroy it. Future interval is the 10 of Cups, and that's an encouragement to you. It's saying, you know, don't give up. Don't give up on any of these changes that you're making, because everything that you're working on now, you're going to see the rewards of it. You're going to see the emotional rewards, you're going to see physical rewards. Yeah, everything that you're working on, don't give up on it, because you will see the returns on your investments of time and energy and money and everything. All of the effort that you're spending on people and your life, you're going to see it come back to you. So don't give up. And I feel like that last card applies to you as well, Jen. It's a dark hour. It's a very dark hour for you, and you know, don't give up. Don't give up when the night is darkest. Because all of the efforts that you make will come back to you. The truth never goes out and comes back empty-handed. Never. And remember, Jenna, the symptoms of love are patience and peace and kindness, generosity, gentleness, self-control, gracefulness. Acceptance, compassion, forgiveness. You're welcome, Doreen, and thank you so much. So I've got like 10 more minutes. Having a look to like remember who was after Doreen. There was like Priestess Hannah, High Priestess Hannah. There was Davy Kogram. So Davy Kogram would be next. Confirmation from Davy Kogram. Following, yeah, calling Davy Kogram, calling High Priestess Hannah. Calling Davy Kogram, calling High Priestess Hannah. Are you guys here? Bye! Thank you for sticking around, Miss Cutie Rose. Thanks for joining me. I hope that you got some value from your reading. Did you not get your reading? I thought you did. I'm sure you did. Sure I did a reading from Miss Cutie Rose. Yeah, you said you were here when Queen of Discs was tagging you. Yeah, cool. Okay, well, I've only got a few minutes to be online, so I'm gonna play a song, and then I'm gonna go. Because I feel like there are strong rip current tides going on here. Strong rip current tides. Jasmine, hi there. Okay. Rara, welcome. Thank you so much for your compliment. I was doing free readings, but I'm done now. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining me today. Rara, I don't know when I'm going to do tarot readings again. Tomorrow I'm probably going to draw. What is the time now? No, I've got 5 minutes. Oh, I didn't put the other music off, I just started playing on top of it. Sorry about that. Must have been a bit disturbing. Yeah, so I did this commission for Hugolina on Twitch just the other day. It's a drawing of her dog, Yoshi. I did this piece for my partner, Aziz Azura. I'm busy working on this one, which is my sister. It is Yellow Daisy. And I'm busy working on this one now, which is like for a deviant art competition. It is like the Queen of Death. Only just been working on it like for a couple of days. It's, yeah. Salma says you're wildly attractive. Thank you so much. I have no doubt that you are as well. That you are beautiful, absolutely and perfectly beautiful. Thank you for the compliment, the second compliment on the music, Rara. Just listening to the music, it's relaxing and healing. That was the point. Oh my god, that is so good, says Miss Cutie Rose. Thank you so much. I do my best. Yeah, like I was reading in my own tarot spread that I did for myself, it was saying that I've come like full circle. My musical abilities have evolved. My art skill has evolved. Everything that I've been doing has like come full circle, and it's time to actually take up new projects. You know, as I put these into real world practice that can actually use them to sustain and support myself, I can start learning new things. Like it was 2 years ago when I started getting serious about art. So that's what you see now. That's 2 years of practice and you know, evolution of skill. But I'm out of time now, so I've got to go. Cheers, guys. And I'll see you probably tomorrow. Probably. Let's see, maybe we can drop you off with someone else before we can drop our Twitch viewers off. Let's see. Who have we got here? We've got Innovate and we've got April Reed. So these guys are doing art. I don't see anybody doing tarot. So, a little bit of a search in the tarot category might help. Bye bye, Rara. My main job. I don't have one. I don't have a main job. My main job is providing esoteric services. I'm a healer and a mage, and I cast spells and yeah, perform healing and what else? Divination, scrying, astral projection. That's my main job. But there's nobody in the tarot section today, so I'm just gonna go offline. Bye now. What is like my main job? Yeah, that's it. And raising livestock, sustaining my own homestead, basically. That's the main job. Chickens, pigs, veggies. Yeah. I'm an artist and a healer, and that's like, you know, art, not just drawing, not just music, that's art in every sense. I was a competitive dancer too, so every form of art, and magic to me is a form of art. But yeah,